Welcome, everybody, to It Tastes Different Game Reviews. What's on the menu today? Marvel's Midnight Suns. Marvel's Midnight Suns is a tactical role-playing turn-based strategy adventure game with cards. It was published by 2K, developed by Firaxis Games, Virtuous, Firaxis Games Inc. It's kind of a funny platform release. PlayStation 5, PlayStation, Xbox Series X and S, PC have all had the release. PlayStation 4 and Xbox One have not had the release yet. It is still scheduled, but they don't have a definitive time frame yet. It is a single player game, and it features many of your favorite characters like Wolverine and Spider-Man and Dolph Lundgren and what? Oh, sorry, Captain Marvel. That's Captain Marvel. It is it's not what I was expecting. So let's jump to Pat first, because I believe Pat loved Captain Marvel the most. So Pat, what do you got?
And that's Shane's favorite. He likes getting it from Dolph Lundgren. So.
The Red
if
Scorpion.
He dies. What do I think of this game? I was expecting a little bit more XCOM, even though Firaxis told us don't expect XCOM. You know, it par for the course for them is what I expected. It still is a turn-based strategy game, which is I really like that they've got exploration sprinkled into this game when you're running around as the huntress, and they've got puzzles, and you can run around and pet the dog. You can run around and find and pet the cat, you know, and things like that, and talk to everybody, all the superheroes and things like that. So, you know, in the sense of you're three heroes and you do turn-based missions, then yes, that's an XCOM game, but it's not. I can't stress this enough. It's XCOM, but only in the sense that it's turn-based strategy. Everything else about this is a little bit different. I mean, they have like upgrading your base and things like that. It built into there, just like XCOM, but the combat is all random card generation. So you're dealt a hand of cards every round, and you have abilities that let you draw more cards and things like that, but you only get like 3 card uses per round unless you have abilities that give you more, or they have quick abilities that allows you to, if you kill an enemy with a quick ability, it resets the card usage. So if you're sitting at 3 and you use one of these quick abilities and you kill somebody, you're still at 3, right? It doesn't reduce that number of card abilities. So that's my biggest complaint about the game is I do not like the card drafting aspect of it. I would prefer more tactical based, level my characters up, build them out the way I want, give them the abilities I want, and do their abilities against an action point pool, kind of like typical XCOM, minus Chimera Squad. I do not like Chimera Squad just because it doesn't feel right in the randomization to at which point my characters get to move, and Chimera Squad was not my favorite. But other than that, it's a pretty fun game. I do enjoy it. I've been playing quite a bit of it. I enjoy, you know, you got a whole plethora of superheroes and you run typically 3 of them through a mission. There's some single player stuff in there where you run as just yourself, or there's some missions where you run with you and your hellhound dog, you know, so those are kind of fun too. So, you know, for me, it's a pretty good game. I've gotten quite a bit of time into it and spent a lot of time this weekend into it. So it's definitely, unfortunately, well, I guess fortunately for me, I bought it on PC, and that's only a $60 game. But I think these guys got it on console, which meant that it was much more pricier. So, but to me, it's a Firaxis game, and I'm like, I think to myself, XCOM and Civilization, those are much better on the computer. So I decided to get on the computer. Had very few issues. Had to upgrade my video card because it was really sluggish and crashing all the time. But after that, worked just fine. So, Nick, what about you, man? What do you think? What are your initial thoughts of this game?
Yeah, I got, I like this game. I enjoy it. I think the combat is the thing I enjoy the most about it. I'm not a huge fan of the card drafting either. But because it's all RNG, right? I mean, what cards you get dealt, sometimes you'll get just dealt a crappy hand after a crappy hand, and you're like, this is not helping me at all. And sometimes you get some really good cards. I mean, of course, you can redraw cards. You do have the opportunity to redraw cards like up to 2 times, unless you have something that lets you redraw more. And so again, the RNG gods, please redraw a good card, right? Not something I already have in my hand, because you can do that. You can draw just a duplicate of something else you have in your hand. And the ability also, you only get to move, again, unless you have something that allows you to do it more than once, but you only get to move one character, which in the combat scenario, you think of XCOM, which that's the thing, same thing I thought of too, even though, like you said, Pat, they said don't think of it that way. And I was thinking XCOM. So I bought it on the PC, except for my PC sucks. And that's why I refunded it and got it on the Xbox, because my PC was having a really hard time. Even it shouldn't, but my PC just sucks. So it was having a hard time. But this game plays just fine with a controller. So there's no problem with that. So if you want to play it on a controller, Xbox or PS4, I don't think you'll have a problem with that, especially with the exploration areas. It's definitely controller friendly. I think Firaxis had the console more in mind with this one than, say, XCOM and like Civilization stuff, which are a little bit more difficult to play with a controller, where this is a little bit more user friendly with a controller. But the combat, I do enjoy the combat scenarios. You're basically out in the open, and you got things you can throw people into, and explosives and stuff you can throw at people, and just the different card sets. Like Pat said, you take your 3 heroes, whichever ones you want to take. Certain missions you only have to take yourself if you don't want to. You can take just 3 random, other heroes in there. But the only thing that sucks, again, is the card drafting, and it only sucks for the fact of the RNG portion of it, right? I understand. I mean, that's the best way to do it. And you can edit your decks and upgrade your cards and various things like that. But again, RNG is going to be either on your side or not. Right. And that's really the thing with it. Also, I do like the Abbey exploration. I like the puzzle solving and that whole thing. I do enjoy that. I find that enjoyable. And I like when you go to do a combat scenario, you can do a story mission, or you could do a side mission to collect more intel or more cards, basically these little gamma packs that Iron Man can open, which basically gives you new cards, either new cards or the same cards you have for upgrades and stuff like that. The only thing that sucks about this is one thing I understand why they do it in the game, why Firaxis set it up this way, but I don't like it, because I'd like to do several missions in a row, because you can't, because the game goes through a day-night cycle where you go through the day. There in the day, you can do a mission. Once you do the mission, it's nighttime, and you can't do another mission. So you have to do whatever you finish up during the night, go to sleep, wake up the next day, do your Abbey stuff, whatever's going on there, then do another mission. I'd like to be able, and I understand why they don't, because they don't want you to like grind out missions for like, resources and stuff. I get that. Because it'd make a very short game if you could just sit there and grind out other missions and then start playing the story. So it makes the longevity of the game, it just increases longevity, because there are parts where you don't want to, I feel like you don't necessarily, if you want to really experience the game, you don't necessarily want to jump from story to story. You want to at certain times kind of stop and do the other side projects and stuff. There are other missions where you can get intel and, like I said, new cards and credits and the other resources that you can use to buy cards and upgrade cards and do the research projects and stuff, kind of like XCOM has, where you can do the research. You have the research tiers where you can, it takes a day or 2 to do certain researches. Is that same kind of concept here? So you can kind of start researching that stuff out while you wait to do a story mission. So that's cool. I just wish I could do a combat mission back to back to back to back, instead of having to wait for that day to night cycle to transition through, so I can do another just regular mission before I decide, okay, I'm ready to move on with the story. Right. I just hate that, because there's so much loading and talking to people in between. It's like, it kind of, even though you don't want to do the story yet, you kind of feel like, I kind of want to do the story now, because I'm tired of all this talking and all that crap that happens in between, because you just kind of want to do missions back to back and you can't. Right. And that's the only thing that sucks. Other than that, I think the game is enjoyable and fun, and I like it. What do you think, Shane?
I enjoy the combat portion of the game most of all. I kind of enjoy the cards more than you guys, I think. I like the randomness to a point. To a point, I hate when I just get, dog crap hand after dog crap hand. But overall, I think I enjoy the cards. I enjoy the combat. I like the setups you can get. So you can use the environment to your advantage as well. You can knock things around, pick things up, throw people, knock back people into things, stuff like that. And I like that portion of it. I think it's my favorite. When you get to your first round and you got a bunch of guys in there of a mission. I mean, if you've got a good setup and you get a good draw, you can take out the whole group with your 3 cards and then use the environments stuff. And I like that. To me, that added a lot more strategy and I really enjoyed it. My biggest problem with the game is it's either the art style or it's not all the voice actors, but there's a few voice actors that are just awful. And it might just be because I'm very familiar with the animated cartoons and then the movies and all that. And I know they're always going to be different because they never seem to keep the same voice actor in these games. So it'd been nice if they'd have brought in some of the voice actors from, the TV shows or whatnot. But the art style, though, the character designs, I don't like. I don't like especially Iron Man. The first suit that you get is just, it looked like I told these guys, it looks like a 9-year-old drew it. And then somebody just, painted by numbers it in. I don't like it. The story is not bad. It's just, it needs to be a little faster, I think. And that to me, I mean, it's a superhero game. To me, it should be faster. That's an opinion thing. That's not really a knock. It's just, for me, I just feel like that game should, like you were saying, you got your day-night cycles. You can't just continue with missions. To me, that's what hurts the game. Is I want to be able to continue. If you want to build your build your base up, fine, go ahead. I think that should be more, I don't know, optional, not something that really affects your gameplay. That's just me, but I think my biggest problem with the game as a total would be it doesn't let me play like I really want to play, which is just go, go, go. Because when I first fired it up, the little tutorial stuff was interesting. And it kind of gave you that feeling of I'm going, and then it just slows you down, and then you're just stuck dealing with all this dialogue that you can listen to or not. I skipped a lot of it after a while just because I just don't care for the voice acting. I'm kind of a prude on it. Iron Man is awful. Iron Man is awful. Caretaker's pretty good. The Magica, however you pronounce her name, not bad. But you can definitely tell it's not a real Russian accent. I mean, Pat's a prude on graphics. I'm a prude on voice actors. I've got to have better voice acting. Now, some of the characters are really good. Your character that depending if you get the male or the female, because you could choose your protagonist. I chose the female as typical, and I thought her voice acting was really well done. And some of the enemies are well done. Venom, I really enjoyed. I always worried about how they do my favorite characters. Venom was done real well. I mean, it was almost like Tom Hardy did it himself. But the game overall is now typically these aren't my type of games, so that might be why I'm down on it a little bit more. So put that into consideration. But if the game was faster, let me just play and take out some of the needless side stuff, I would have enjoyed it a lot more. I'm playing it on Xbox because Nick refunded it on computer and put it on Xbox. And it plays real well with the controller though. It's not as bad as I was thinking it was going to be. I thought it was one of those you're going to have to hold left trigger and then, cycle through this and that. It doesn't work like that. It's real fluid. So, but I'm disappointed by a lot of things in the games, but I enjoy certain things definitely. And combat to me is my favorite part. So And I wish there was some sort of a co-op or PvP to it, so you just battle your friends. I mean, superhero stuff. I want that.
I don't know. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I don't know, because none of that stuff's required. Like, you don't have to do any of that stuff outside of the very first intro. Outside of the very first intro into like exploring the Abbey and doing the little Abbey portal thing. All the rest of that stuff is completely optional. I mean, you don't have to go and spend money and upgrade your base and stuff like that. It helps you in the long run. You know, it gives you abilities and things like that, and the training ground upgrades and stuff like that, and forge upgrades and communications.
Now, the training ground I could see more than like my bedroom or the hangout. You know, that I can see, but you know, that other stuff didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, like I said, you don't have to do all that stuff, and you know, and I guess, I don't know. I kind of look at it like that you don't have to do it, but you can. And it does add a lot of time. Like, especially when you wake up the first thing in the morning, the longer you progress through the game, the more crap opens up. Like, every morning when I get up, I have to go hit the forge to open any of those gamma containers. And if I grab an artifact, I have to open the artifact. And then if I got upgrades, I put in another thing to research. And if I unlock something, I got to upgrade it. And then you go upstairs, you go to the communications. If you have any intel, you have to send out superheroes to go do intel reports. And then you go over to the training ground, you upgrade your cards, and then you go look and see if there's any who you want to send through training, you know, to get more friendship points and a boost to the next mission that you go on with them. And then I open up a portal that allows me to do challenge missions out there. And then I open up another portal that allows me to train daily in there, a single character to upgrade their level. So, I mean, there's a lot to do on a daily basis. And that's not to mention all the friendship stuff that you do with the people in the Abbey. Like, you can compliment them, you can give them gifts, you can hunt down the dog and the cat every day for additional arcane bonuses. You can look for books in the library every day that give you additional arcane bonuses, points, and stuff like that. Not to mention the exploration. And then, like Shane was talking about, you can decorate your bedroom and crap like that. But then there's things like garage activities with your friends, and there's hangout activities with your friends, and there's I can't remember what they call the one things where there's like getaways. You find like areas on the map, and you can take people there to give you a huge boost to their friendship levels and stuff like that. So there's a lot you can do in this game, and if you want to be slow with it, you can. But if you want to be fast, you don't do any of that stuff. It even tells you as you go through, it's like, you don't have to do this, you know, if you don't want to. But it does level up your character. I mean, I'm sitting on level 14 characters right now, level 14s. My superheroes are 14s and stuff. And I'm like, that's only from playing, you know, maybe 10, 12 hours, something like that in the game. So, you know, I enjoy it. And the combat is probably my least favorite thing about the game because of the RNG of the cards, which everybody else is one of their better things.
Yeah, the cards, I didn't have that many runs of just straight garbage, but it was God, like it was right after you meet Miranda, I think it is, when you start doing the missions. That next mission, I had just garbage after garbage after garbage. I died. That was the first time I died. So I don't know. But I enjoyed the cards too, because it did kind of keep it fresh, because the combat can get stale. You know, because you do an attack. You know, let's say it's your quick attack and you're doing Iron Man. You do your card. Your Iron Man character pops out to his position and pew pew. He does a little, I wouldn't say a cut scene, just a little action scene of it. And then it goes back. And then the next character does the same thing. And the next character does the same thing. The combat can get repetitive though. But if you're, you know, I imagine Pat, you and Nick are both like this, more strategic than I am, because, you know, I like strategy, but I don't overthink at all. And that probably screws me a lot. But, you know, I try to just use my cards as they are. I didn't like to redraw unless I had those cards I couldn't use at the very beginning, because I didn't have enough whatever that crap is called again, hero juice, whatever.
Heroism, yeah.
Heroism.
Hero
Yeah,
juice. I like that.
I didn't have a heroism yet, and so I would redraw those. I enjoyed the combat, but there are things that kind of suck about it. But I think the cards kept it a little fresher than it really is. Because if it was a little bit different, they didn't have the card mechanics to it, it'd be the same damn move over and over and over. I mean, how many times can you watch Spider-Man ping, boom, hit a guy, and then, freaking Ghost Rider come in there with his flaming head and kill a guy with the same movements every time. So, or I'm just a nitpicky little ass.
I mean, I don't know. I'm very tactical with it. And I'm like, how many quick skills do I have up? How many resets can I do with these quick skills before I have to then start burning through my cards, right? Because you only get 3 card draws, unless you're using a quick that resets it when you kill another enemy, or there's certain cards that say this card's free use or something. But it's all tactical, and that's exactly how you have to look at this game. It's very tactical. But the card draw is where I find the most boring aspect of the game, in my opinion, because it's completely random and can completely hose you. Like, I have done plenty of maps where I've pulled 4 heroism cards in the first pull, and I'm like, I have no heroism points, and now I'm just going to reset these. I'm going to sell these back or whatever, and things like that. So, and then you'll get your favorite 3 characters that you like to run with, and they'll be out-leveled everybody else. You spend all your points gearing them up and get the better cards and things, because I have that going on right now. And time goes on, I may pick a different set of 3, but it's the 3 that I go out with pretty regularly. So, and the game kind of slows you down on progress, too, by upgrading cards cost feats, and that's like there's like attack and defense and other stuff, and you get the essences is what they are, and you spend these essences to upgrade the card. So you like take 2 cards that are the same and to combine them, and then to combine them it costs this essence material depending on what type of card is it. Is it a defensive card, a tactical card, an attack card? It'll use one of 3 or 4 different essence pools of essence to basically upgrade the card, and that stuff doesn't come very quick. You're hunting around the mansion for it every morning and every night for the little balls that glow, and you pick it up. But you can also go on missions that give you some essence as well. So, and then you're looking for either crafting cards to combine to make the higher level card, or you're running missions to get the cards and things like that. So, I find all that enjoyable. It just like I said, I think the cards kind of are my least favorite thing, and they're not unenjoyable. I do like them because, there are missions in the game where I've set up my 3-person party that if I get the correct card drawn, I got like infinite turn going on right now. I can probably clear the whole map, and I've done it a few times with the 3 heroes that I run together, because they're full of like quick skills and on KO draw more cards, or on KO reset this, or on KO attack another enemy. Like I have Spider-Man set up to where he can attack 4 players in consecutive or 4 enemies as long as they KO. So I'll beat him down and have Spider-Man hit one guy, KOs him, jump to another one, KO, jump, and so I've wiped out half their team, and I've only used like 1 or less than 1 of, or maybe 2 of my card draws. And I still have 1 left, and I'm like, cool, I just got rid of 75% of the party, and now I'm going to finish these guys off, So it's all very tactical, and I like the exploration. It's kind of odd. I really didn't like the character control at first. I don't know about you guys, but it took a little bit of getting used to single player character control with the Huntress or Hunter, I guess, depending on if you did a dude or a chick hunter. So
true. No, I didn't have any problem with the movement, but like Nick pointed out, with the controller, it was very friendly. It really did feel like Nick had said. It felt like they really thought about the console versions. So, I wish we could get more games in the Marvel Universe, but I wish we could get more that were more action oriented. Guardians of the Galaxy is the top Marvel game out there by far right now, in my opinion, and probably in the last 10 years. Wolverine had a game. They had 2 games actually, but Wolverine came out with a game on him, and it was an action game, just straight up, and it was a fun game. This is back on 360 era, so it's been quite a while. But I would like to see them, quit trying different things. Well, start doing more things in the Marvel universe that I enjoy. I'm more action oriented. I want to be able to Allied Assault or Allied Alliance. I believe that's what it was called. The RPG. Love that series. And I thought that was fantastic. But I'd like to see, a good co-op game where, these two could pick, Nick could be the Hulk and Pat could be, Scarlet Witch, and we could, action.
They made that and it sucked.
No. A good one. A good one.
He's talking about the Avengers.
Yeah, that piece of crap. Jesus, Mary Joseph.
I'm sorry, but I low-key liked that game. And I liked it because we got to play together. But I even made you guys buy it, and you guys wouldn't play with me.
Man, I will get on it right now.
What's free
because
now?
The only reason I enjoyed it was playing with you guys. I played a little bit with my son, and he was like, Dad, I'd rather go watch a DC movie. And it's like, shit. Sorry, buddy. But I want to see them do more with the Marvel universe. I like that they've mixed it up, though. I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy is still by far the best, but the Marvel, Avengers game was crap, but at least it was something different. And I don't know, just give me a good cooperative action game.
I liked it. I just don't think that it got a fair shake. I mean, bad thing is they piecemealed it out. They should have just dropped it all at once instead of saying, well, you can get Spider-Man here and you can get this there. And we're going to drop, Black Panther and this and Hawkeye. And I was like, just drop it all. Yep. I know what they were trying to do because they're trying to make it a game of service, but that's not this game right now. Yep. But anyway, back to Midnight Suns. Really, the only thing else that I really dislike is the Eclipse currency. I am so annoyed out of that. Putting microtransactions in a full price game is a dick move, and it's a stupid ass move because you've locked costumes behind that currency. And I'm like, and they pick what most people would probably consider to be some of the better costumes behind the Eclipse currency. And that really pisses me off because that's a huge dick move, especially if you're buying this on PS5 and Xbox Series. That's a $70 game. And now you're saying, hey, if I want those costumes, buy my the Eclipse currency. And I'm like, that's a horrible, horrible dick move. But that's what the world's coming to. 2K's jumping on the EA bandwagon. Firaxis and those guys are jumping on that bandwagon. Is how can we wring as much money out of our fans as possible, and throw in a freaking currency for a skin. It's not pay to win or anything, but it doesn't matter. It's a freaking single player game. If it was pay to win or whatever on a single player game, nobody cares. But you can't charge me $70 for a full price game and then say, oh, by the way, if you want this, you need to go out and spend extra this to have this currency to buy those costumes.
You know what we need? We need a brand new Game Genie to be able to just put on these damn systems on our computers and get all this crap free like it should have been to begin with. So whoever's out there that's smart, I want a Game Genie for my Xbox Series X and my PlayStation 5 and my computer.
Computers you have mods. Yeah, computers you have mods.
That's true.
That is mod them to be whatever you want.
It sucks either way, but it would be better if they would have later on come out with it would be better than the Eclipse credits to later on come out with a DLC package that has a series of skins that you can buy. Right?
Oh, you're talking about the season pass, the $50 season pass that has skins galore in it.
Oh, it has skins. Okay, so they mixed. They did both. Wow, that's even worse. Never mind.
It is bad.
They grabbed both cheeks on that one, buddy.
They did. They grabbed the largest pineapple they could find.
So, who lives in a pineapple up my ass?
Hitler does.
Firaxis. They did. They said, "Here you go. Shove
Here's
this
a
up
pineapple.
There."
Here's a pineapple."
That's probably
pick
more of a
just for you.
2K.
Yeah,
probably more 2K
likely
doing that.
Well,
than
2K
Firaxis,
owns
but-
them, so right.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're a subsidiary. Firaxis is a subsidiary of 2K. So
Yeah.
Either way, like you said, dick move. It's junk, and nobody wants it. Nobody likes it. And the problem is, people buy it, so blame them. So find people who buy that junk and then delete their accounts. So, but I think for the price, it's it's a $50 game. I think 70 was bullcrap because I don't see $70 worth of graphics. It's nice looking game though. Besides the character models, but I'd say it's a $50 game because it's really not bad. It's just there's things about it that just aren't me, that bug me.
Yeah, it's really good. I enjoy the game. I have a lot of fun with it. $70 is you can go take that $70 and shove it up their ass as far as I'm concerned, because the game is just like every other game. I don't know what makes it $10 more.
I don't know, because I got it on PC and it's $10 cheaper.
Yeah, and it's $10 cheaper. So what's the difference? I'm not sure. We can just charge extra $10. Apparently, the publishing arms out there and developers tell us that we need that extra $10, but we haven't figured out what for. It's kind of like the metaverse and all the other.
There's starving developers in California that need that
in
money.
the arms of an angel.
There's
but other than that,
sitting by his desk
crying. Other than that, I think the game is a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Could it be worth $60? Maybe. It just depends on know what you're getting into, right? With you think Firaxis, you're thinking XCOM. It's not that. It's not XCOM. If you're thinking this is XCOM, it's not. It's not. That's all there is to it. Check out some things online, some videos and stuff, and kind of see how the combat and everything, how the whole gameplay flow goes. And then if that seems like it's still up your alley, then I'd say go ahead and check it out for $60. If you have to spend 70, I guess, but I spent it for the review, but man, I don't see the $10 extra. It didn't do crap for me. So
what about you, Pat? Would you give another 60?
Another 60?
Well, if you had to do it all over again, would you give it 60?
Yeah, yeah, I would. I think it's worth $60 to me. I've gotten a whole weekend out of it already, so and I don't even think I don't know how long the gameplay is, but I don't even think I don't feel like I'm halfway through. But I did a lot of side stuff. I find that when I went in there, I'm like, okay, I did the same thing Nick did. I'm like, I need all the currency I can get. I need all the artifacts I can get, and as much crap as I can get. So I have the ooh shiny, problem in a game that my OCD kicks in and be like, did I pick all those mushrooms? Do I need to go back out and look for more? Do I need to go find more this plant or this stuff that you go find out in the woods? And I'm like, let me go make a run through again. And because I don't know if you guys know, but some of the chests respawn in that game. So,
yep, figured that out because I went by one and I was like, wait a minute. I opened that, didn't I? Also, one thing, one last thing, if you're going around the Abbey and you're trying to figure out the puzzle and you're like, maybe I need to progress the story or whatever. Nope, you're just missing it. That's all there is to it. You're just missing it. It's there. Sometimes some of those puzzles and some of those things that you need to do are like just so you'll probably run by them 1,000 times and not even notice it until you just stop and go, oh my God. I sat there probably for an hour trying to figure one of these puzzles out. And I just left and I came back and I left and I came back. And then finally I know I walked by this place like 1,000 times and went and just walked by it. And I was like, wait a minute, there's a thing and there's an icon pop up. What was that? I just saw it like real quick and went back and I solved the puzzle and I was like, son of a, so yeah, just keep trying. You're not missing something. You're not missing a story element or anything like that. You're just missing something that you haven't done yet.
Well, you guys got anything else to say? All right. Well, everybody, thanks for listening. Make sure, you give us some responses there in the comments. Let us know, who your favorite characters are. Spider-Man, Wolverine, Dolph Lundgren. Who is your favorite character? Let us know what you think of the game. Let us know if you agree, disagree with our opinions on this game. It's fairly varied on this one today, so that's a good thing, sort of. But let us know what you think. And don't forget to hit those notifications. Make sure you follow us. We always got a video out. And let us know if you'd like to see anything in particular from us. But until then, see you next time. See ya.